Hello, I'm Roger Hill, Velco's Weather Hazards Forecaster for Weathering Heights Consulting. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, and 802 Honda. They're all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. Well, we're looking at the makings of Tropical Storm Philippe, and right now Tropical Depression 18. This is going to be injected in a problematic storm that will likely have a lot of its moisture overspread the region and intensify an ongoing storm system that will move up the coast and affect us on especially Sunday night into the day on Monday. So you're looking at the big picture here. This is a trough of lower pressure, full latitude trough as a matter of fact, very big dip in the jet stream. And what it's doing is it's pulling this new Tropical Depression 18, which is going to develop into Tropical Storm Philippe. It's going to take a track, and a combination of a surface low just ahead of this trough, kind of a typical nor'easter, is going to spin up along the Carolina coast and then track very close to the coast and probably capture Philippe. And this is why some of the hurricane models are now indicating some kind of a landfall. I think the best landfall is really going to be down south of New York City through parts of New Jersey, the Delmarva region perhaps, and cutting through like this and then tracking out like that. So utility impacts were likely with this incoming storm system with high winds and heavy rainfall associated with the hybrid storm system, especially for Sunday night into Monday morning. Some marginally strong gradient winds along the backside of this departing area of low pressure will work through the region on Monday. Looks like we'll see the area of low pressure track out of the region and far less velocities on the backside with the main event again Sunday night into Monday. Very minor wet snow is a possibility. That's a little bit of a new entry. This above mainly about 2,500 feet elevation with no utility concerns. This would happen along about Tuesday. We're talking about just the first dust-ups of the higher terrain here. The best project weather day is the rest of today, Saturday, and again on Wednesday. Unsettled with a threat for showers next week for Thursday and Friday. The overall weather pattern much quieter once this system gets out of town. Colder, more autumnal-like after the main storm system departs as cooler air blows in on the backside. Let's take a look at the European model, and we'll go to the GFS model as well. So this is the frontal boundary you can see moving through, and if you look down in the bottom part here, you can see Florida and what is the makings of Tropical Storm Philippe. Now it gets very complicated. This could be Philippe, or Philippe may reform and move much further north off the Carolina coast, so it is really a highly complex situation. You can still see some kind of an area of low pressure here. This might be the remnants of Philippe, and then over here to the south of New Jersey you can see this area of low pressure. So you watch the progression here, and it looks like Philippe in its moisture kind of splits and goes off to the north and east. It leaves kind of Vermont in the middle there, and it looks like the main area of low pressure, the surface low will track along the Adirondack Northway and then toward Montreal. Now on the back side of this system, we have some colder air, and most of the rain shield or precipitation shield associated with the storm is going to move off to the north of us, lifting out of the region. However, upstream, we have warm water, and cold air over that warm water is going to give us some lake effect. So this is what we're looking at across the far northern mountains, the higher terrain. This is valid Tuesday evening, and it looks like during the day on Tuesday we could see a little dust up above around 2,500 feet elevation, maybe some wet snowflakes down to the valley floors of mainly northern Vermont. Thereafter, we have a fairly decent good project weather day on Wednesday, and then beyond that, it looks like some showers as a weak weather system will provide us with some light rain shower activity. It looks like things do warm up again. And then eventually, this is going into next weekend, beyond Friday, we see some colder air, but drier conditions with an area of higher pressure building into the region. This is the GFS model, and you can see a little better depiction here. This is the Tropical Storm Philippe and the makings and this evolution here. Now this is going to be valid 18Z Sunday, about 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. You can see rain has already moved into Vermont at that point in time, but things really do pick up. Okay, this is now valid 8 o'clock in the evening on Sunday. This is Philippe. strips off a lot of its moisture, a lot of tropical characteristics, very juiced up air mass. So the next shot here, there's Philippe. Again, this is the GFS model, a little different than the European, but not by much. And the GFS definitely had followed the general consensus of the European model. And it's pretty much out of here. Okay, now 5,400 meter thickness, that's the dashed lines here. Anything colder than that, the atmosphere is actually thinner, if you will, and with colder air. So with those thicknesses dropping, this is a good measurement. And you can see that it's cold enough to snow with a little bit of precipitation. We're not talking about very much, but maybe a little bit over a tenth of an inch of rain or precipitation melted, and probably falling in the form of snow. Okay, this is in the night. This would be basically Monday night and into the day on Tuesday. A little bit of lake effect, nothing major. Okay, this is surface pressure, and you can see where that frontal boundary is approximately. It's right through this area here. This is the makings of Tropical Storm Philippe. And again, this is the 51-member European ensemble. You can see what happens here. The two kind of join and merge. That area of low pressure basically tracks either along the coast or now inland. And this has been the new dynamic. It goes west of Vermont. That's good for hydro concerns. It'll lessen the precipitation, but it'll also cause us very strong winds. The whole storm system then shifts out of the north to the north of us, and we get a pretty strong westerly blow. It looks like high pressure is going to be building in. This is valid around Wednesday, so Ensemble says pretty decent day on Wednesday. GFS Ensemble meteogram here shows the main event here with rain, and then not a whole lot behind it. And again, just cold enough in some of our locations to see a few plumes of snow indicated. Let's take a look at total precipitation. You can definitely see the formation of Philippe, and some of that moisture then spread and then split back, and with a kind of curling back to the left. This has a very much of a sandy look, and it is a hybrid system. This is something we have to keep a close eye on with this next event. Switching over to temperature very quickly, warmest days are coming here really today into the day on Sunday, with the warmer air and tropical moisture into the region. That low pressure system passing to the west means we'll be on the warm sector of the storm. But then colder air, once it moves on by, will lower the temperature, and cold enough here near 32 degrees a couple days as we get into this cooler air. Note that Mount Mansfield's top is cold enough to snow roughly as we turn the corner as we get into the day on Monday night and into the day on Tuesday. So overall weighted temperatures, you can see where the cold airs come down east of the Rockies out of Canada, and below normal temperatures all the way down into the Gulf of Mexico, and then warmer than normal temperatures across the northeast United States advancing out of the region. 3 days later, this is the way it shapes up. It looks like still cold air trapped here. We'll see a little bit of a warming, and we are going to see a little bit of a warming as we get into the later part of next week. But here's the main event as the system off the coast then wraps toward the northeast United States. Tropical storm force winds expected as Depression 18 fires up into tropical storm status, and then it looks like it maxes out somewhere 48 to 60 hours and then begins to lose definition. Quick look on timing. Storm track. The track seems to be more of a western storm track, and potentially I think it's going to end up something like this. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.